We're going to talk about Stephen A. Smith.
By the way, I took a look at the rundown. I was like, how did we get Skip Bayless, Stephen A. Smith, and Shannon Sharpe and on our rundown?
John acts like I'm like the producer. I just send him a rundown. He has no say in it. Like I just here's the rundown. No, you know what? It is
You
John
know what?
just
I'm as
shows up.
curious as everybody else about what we're going to say about these three.
John just shows up, his shades on.
Turn down for what?
He gets handed the rundown. We got AC White and Chris Mason, and they're there giving him he only has blue M&Ms. It's all ready for him. He's high maintenance Ourand is what we call him. Behind his back. Now it's public. All right. So the rundown comes.
I burned all that, Andrew.
You saw Stephen A. Shannon and Skip, and what were you thinking? So what do you think we're talking about here?
Well, of course, Shannon Sharpe at the Lakers game.
Yes.
Shannon Sharpe and Skip Bayless having some issues to where Shannon Sharpe didn't show up at on the FS1 show, the Not First Take. Well, what on earth is the name of that show?
Undisputed. Undisputed.
Talk about performative.
All right, we're gonna play. All right, let's stop playing guess the rundown and let's get to it. All right, why I put that on there is what these shows have become. They've become performance art. Like if anybody's really watching, and I've always said this for years and years about talk radio, if you're watching or listening to be informed, that's kind of seems silly, even though I do think some people do, people have jobs and they're coming home and this is how they find out about sports, but it's just sort of a caricature version of it. It can be entertaining. And Stephen A. and Skip have really gone all in on the Cowboys. Stephen A., with his whole act and with Michael Irvin coming on Mondays. I mean, it's worked. I have to say, I put it on this Monday to see what he was going to do and see what it was like. And would I do that if this wasn't my job? Probably not. I wouldn't care that much, but it's performative, easier to do than say. And they do a good job with that. Now, let's get to what's your opinion on Shannon Sharpe, though, making a scene at the Laker game. I don't think you can do that.
No, I thought that was, he did come on and apologized for doing that afterwards, but for somebody who has spent a lot of time complaining about fan behavior at the games, and then he turns into be a fan that almost starts a brawl at one of the games. And maybe you can answer this: how did he stay on the court? I can't imagine that he wasn't thrown out of the arena.
Yeah, this is what happens in LA. I mean, Will Smith stayed in his seat at the Oscars, so I don't know. It's a different ball game, I guess. There with stars. Shannon Sharpe's so interesting to me because these younger players, sometimes it feels like when they go back at him, they kind of act like it's like Barkley. It's like, yeah, dude, I had a way better career than you. Like there's like almost like nobody could say anything to these guys where they can't just be like, no, I was better than you. Like there's almost, there's like three people who can say, no, I had a better, Brady could say that to Shannon Sharpe if he wanted to, maybe a couple other quarterbacks, but the guy's a Hall of Famer, one of the great tight ends of all time. Look, the interesting thing about this stuff is that we're not talking about them unless they do this. So that's sort of where it goes in. Stephen A's gotten to a point where, he's comparing Beyonce to Rihanna, and he said Beyonce, he likes her better. Because like a whole thing, he had apologized. I mean, it was like, I don't know. Sometimes it's like, is this the end of time? Is this how we end? Because this is what everyone's getting worked up about. That Stephen A said that Beyonce's
one
better
thing
than
I
Rihanna.
do know, like everybody hates Skip Bayless, right? And Stephen A is sort of polarizing. It is difficult to break through late morning, early afternoon programming, and they have all broken through in terms of people wanting to watch them, or at least people talking about them, and some of their things going viral. So it's difficult to do. They've been able to do it. It's not my cup of tea, but it's
It's not my cup of tea either, but I will say this about Stephen A, obviously very good at TV. Shannon Sharpe, very good at TV. Skip Bayless is very good at TV. I mean, we can talk about his takes are stupid, and some of them I found, unbelievably dumb, but he's good at TV. Like, I mean, there is an art to it. He's 70, I believe, and he can still get into like the Cowboys like he's 7 years old. So, I mean, that's one thing.
Well, you know what Jamie Horowitz always used to say, and he was the guy that sort of got him on the first take way back when. was he used to go around and people used to be like, that's Skip Bayless. I hate him. And he was like, anybody that inspires that kind of passion with that many people, he wants that guy on the air. And that's totally what Skip Bayless does.
Yeah. All right. Well, hopefully somebody hates you or me, so we get a lot of.
It's got to be you. I'm the likable one of the two of us.
I can tell. I think it's me. Oh yeah, yeah.